NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Try to silence the truth, but he's loud and clear. From the bayou to the block, everyone can hear. Got the people united, it's a movement, no doubt. With his mic in hand, he's breaking all the clout. City eat the official scheming, yeah, they playing it slick. But Gerod's on the line and he's ready to kick. For the schools and the streets, he's fighting the fight. With a heart full of passion, he's igniting the night. Gerod on the radio, calling out the lies. Bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. From the jazz in the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerod on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerod on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. In the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerod on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerod on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerod on the radio, calling out the lies. Bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, tune in out, let the truth resonate. With Gerod on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerod on the radio, calling out the lies. Bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, let the truth resonate. With Gerod on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it loud, let's uplift this place.
Yeah, that's the way he's gonna begin this show. I know it looks really strange.
Yeah. Jasmine, sing with me. Turn your mic on.
Jasmine, don't play with his foolishness.
Turn your mic on.
Jasmine's like, she is not turning that mic on to sing with you.
Jasmine's mic on.
It is Friday, y'all.
Turn your mic on.
It is Friday at WBOK 1230 AM and 107.4 FM on your radio dial. The phone number here is 504-582-9422. We invite you to participate in today's conversation. This is attorney Suzette Bagnaris, and I am joined by your boy, Gerod Stevens. And we have a new person who's in our control booth today. Everyone say hello to Jasmine. When you call in, Jasmine will be answering your calls today.
Hello.
Hello, Jasmine. I can hear her. Welcome to the show. We usually have a very spirited show. We attack some very serious issues and engage in some real talk about what's happening locally, regionally, statewide, nationally, internationally sometimes.
You said we attack. I thought you were going to call some names of people.
Oh, no, I'm not calling no names today. Well, not yet. I am going to call some names, as you know I do, but not yet. I'm kind of easing into the show.
Okay. And we got company.
We got company.
Mm-hmm.
So today, we're going to talk about a letter from Bop which we think is a very important letter that seems to echo a lot of the things that Gerod and I have been saying on this radio now for the last 3 or 4 months.
Yep.
I find it interesting that now Bob has decided to join the discourse that Gerard and I have been engaged in and seem to be the lone wolves engaging in it for a while.
Only ones.
But now, it seems that Bob agrees that this issue deserves serious attention from this city. Bob recently issued a public statement expressing concern about what it describes as a pattern of racially motivated complaints and selective investigations targeting Black officers inside of the New Orleans Police Department.
Mm-hmm.
The letter specifically points to complaints being directed toward high-ranking and high-earning African American officers. Now, let me be clear. No officer should be above accountability. If policies are indeed violated, there should be consequences. But the BOP issue raises a different issue that G and I have been talking about for months. They have raised the issue of selective accountability. And family, selective accountability is dangerous in any institution. Because once people begin believing that discipline is not to be applied equally, trust begins to collapse from the inside out.
Yep.
Now, why does this matter beyond policing? Because what we are witnessing right now in New Orleans, in the state, in our country, feels like something bigger is happening across multiple institutions, multiple lanes of government. It appears that it's open season on Black Americans. The BOP letter raises concerns about Black officers feeling targeted. And I believe they are being targeted.
I believe so.
I think that is an accurate concern. Why is it that only Black officers are being accused of payroll fraud just because they seem to earn over $200,000 when white officers who are earning over $200,000 are not being called to the table at all?
Mm-hmm.
Do we not believe that their time is worth equal value?
And some people don't. And from what I understand and what I'm getting from conversations, some of those officers that are on task force, that are on specialty duties, do not, let me repeat myself, do not have to punch a clock. Don't have to write down everything on a timesheet. And if they don't, then what are we comparing it to? My problem is exactly what you said, that everybody that seems to be in some type of violation, even decorated officers that have rank, that are calling themselves senior officers, that are head of task force, that are head of patrolling districts to make sure that crime districts are safe, they're getting plunged into the plunger and hit with these accusations of payroll fraud. Now, if we are looking at this and you understand how they get paid and you understand policing, that's one thing. But when you have a chemistry teacher that calls himself a watchdog that's looking at these issues and you have no idea about policing, you have never been in law enforcement before, and you're just getting the choir to okay what you said because you might have got lucky and got one before. But then again, it would make me go back and look at that one that you got before to see if this case is the same.
Oh, I intend to do a deep dive into the education, employment history, and background of the chemistry teacher in the context of the Cockerham litigation. Because I want to know what makes people think he is qualified to render the opinions and make the accusations that he is making against these seasoned officers.
And then again, I would go a little bit further, which I know you will do. Why is the police department relying on him and following his lead?
Well, the letter by Bob is starting to question that, specifically questions the legitimacy of utilizing the chemistry teacher as the source for disciplining these officers.
Right.
And we've been saying that now for 3 months. So I'm happy that Bob now finally agrees with us.
And I'm surprised at some of the police organizations other than Bob. It seems like Bob is the only one that Bob got the coonheads to be cojones and coonheads. I just wanted to say that word.
He makes words up.
Yeah,
I've come to find out.
What's in that?
Oh,
one?
look at this on the television. It's what we're talking about.
Exactly.
So, instead, what Bob is saying is that what's happening at NOPD is not a single complaint against a single black officer. It's not an isolated incident. There has become a pattern of accusing black officers who have significant overtime of payroll fraud. The organization is saying that there's increasingly more concern about a pattern of racially motivated complaints. And that wording is very important. A pattern suggests that Bob believes the complaints are recurring, the same types of officers are being targeted repeatedly, and the conduct is systemic rather than accidental. The letter frames the issue as something broader than personality conflicts or a one-off disagreement. The BOP specifically states that almost all of the subjects of the complaints of payroll fraud are high-ranking and or high-earning African-American NOPD officers. That is one of the strongest parts of the statement, and it's exactly what we've been arguing on this radio show for months. The organization is not merely saying black officers are being affected generally. It is specifically pointing to black command staff, senior leadership, or officers in influential positions who are being targeted. And that raises deeper concerns about advancement, influence, visibility, and who holds the power inside the department and who's targeting who. Who's making the decision to target who? And why is it just the black people being targeted by a white superintendent?
And other white
leadership that she has appointed.
Other white leadership that has no ranking, no employment history, nothing to do with the police department. And I would like to know, before you make these accusations, who do you have that goes back and does a forensic audit of those timesheets, of those biometric timesheets?
Well, one of the most strategic aspects of the BOP letter is that BOP explicitly says BOP does not condone any violations of NOPD policies. That sentence is critically important. The organization is trying to avoid appearing like it's anti-accountability.
Right.
And we are too.
Right.
If people are actually committing payroll fraud, then discipline them.
Right.
But discipline them equally, discipline them fairly, and don't just target a segment of officers based upon their race. And that is what seems to be happening. Bob is not saying do not investigating black officers. They're just saying black officers should be immune from being targeted.
So if that's the case, and these officers are immune from being targeted, why aren't the officers that don't look like us also being brought out to be making that type of money? Because what was also said in a lot of those conversations that were happening about those officers, it was said for someone to be making over $200,000 a year, it couldn't be possible because they would have to work almost every day for 365 days a year. So with that being said, some of those numbers that I see that are 239,000, 211,000, this next letter that we have, all of those guys that are white are making more than that.
Let's go through some of the lists. Since today on today's news, on the other news media, you're going to find mugshots of a ton of black officers, and next to them, you're going to see $200,000, okay, as if they have committed payroll fraud because they're making, just by virtue of making $200,000. So what we're going to do today is we're going to identify some of the white officers who are also making $200,000, and we're going to challenge mainstream media to put their faces on TV too. Because if just by virtue of making over $200,000 you've committed fraud, then I want to see their faces on TV too. So let's identify them, G, and let's say how much they made.
All right, let's make sure they've got a Jasmine. Yep, see Jasmine right there.
Very good, Jasmine. We're going to take a break, but you stay tuned because we're coming back and we're going to put it on Front Street.
And we're going to name them next, right here at WBOK.
Attention, WBOK listeners. Are you a fan of the station and want to show your support and style? Well, we've got some exciting news for you. Introducing the official WBOK merchandise, the perfect way to wear your love for the station. Whether you're a longtime listener or a new fan, we've got something for everyone. Head to WBOK1230.com now and grab your WBOK gear before it's gone. When you buy WBOK merch, you're not just getting quality items, you're supporting the station you love.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
I'm Cynthia Willard Lewis, and I encourage you to vote Nick Alvarez. He will protect Louisiana families and fight for lower health care costs for everyone. Vote Nick for U.S. Senate.
I'm Nick Alvarez, and I approve this message.
Step back in time and experience the moments that shaped our world at the National World War II Museum, located in the heart of the Warehouse District in New Orleans. This world-renowned museum brings history to life, telling America's story in the war that changed everything, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. From immersive exhibits to powerful personal stories, this is more than a museum. It's an experience. Plan your visit today at nationalww2museum.org. World War II Museum, where history lives.
Well, Saints of God, this is Pastor David Impartan Sr. coming to you over the airways of WBOK, your favorite host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want to invite you to our show every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. That's Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want you to invite your family and friends to a broadcast that's designed to change your life, the way you think, the way you act, and what you eat. We want you to tune in every Saturday at 1 o'clock, WBOK, 12:30 a.m. See you on Saturday.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back.
The block is hot.
The block is hot. Should we be saying, we. Jasmine over there crying. We ain't old, Jasmine. You better get with the program, baby. We ain't old folk over here.
Mr. Officer, Mr. Officer.
No, I ain't even
Let's talk about your overtime.
You want to talk about the overtime?
I want to talk about the overtime. Let's go. All right. So, since y'all want to put the black officers on Front Street on mainstream media, we're going to put the white officers who are making the same amount of money on Front Street. Let's go, G.
Without having the complete, not all of those officers have the ranking that the black officers have.
Right.
One or two of them that we have today has been on the force less than any of the officers that they're talking about. Maybe 2 years. And they're making over $200,000.
Okay. So let's expose it. Let's talk about it, because that's what we do here. We put it out on the street.
All right, here we go. This is a complaint that was turned in. And I need everybody to know this is nothing we made up. This was a complaint that was put in last week that has not been put in a perception of, okay, we're going to look into it. Nope. There is no movement whatsoever. Whatsoever?
Not whatsoever. That's not a word.
That's
Yo,
it.
I do tell him these are not words, but
That's
he
why
continues to use them.
That's why I said.
Okay. Go ahead.
Whatsoever. Here we go. Captain Sam Palumbo, 8th District Commander. Why is he, who's supposed to be on salary, doing overtime and making money doing overtime? Not supposed to. You're supposed to be in charge of people. That's what captains do. They're supposed to be in charge of people. So when there is overtime for the captains, it's usually because they're overlooking something like a detail, like at the Superdome or something of that sort, okay? Lieutenant Dan Anderson, white male supervisor, earned $245,000 last year. Why is he not investigated? Officer Chris Abbott, white male, earned $220,000. More than $33,000 was overtime pay. No investigation. Lieutenant Sal Corona, white male supervisor, $244,000. No investigation. He also works the Superdome detail. Officer Chris Kalka, white male officer, has been there less than 2 years. $20,000 in overtime in 2025. And who approved his overtime? Sergeant Stephen Crable, white male supervisor, earned $21,000 in overtime in 2025. Who approved that overtime? And here's the kicker. Officer Manuel Castilian, a salary of $275,000 in 2025, $33,000 in overtime pay. Nobody said a word. They brought it up, but it went away real quick. Have you ever seen him on TV?
No.
Have you ever heard that he got suspended?
No.
Have you ever heard that he's under investigation?
No.
Any of these folks under investigation. And then they make these investigations so long that they can't even do details. So these investigations, if I'm not mistaken, are supposed to be done within a timely fashion of maybe 120 days. Maybe. But they end up being 18 months, 19 months, and then they're just no details whatsoever and under administrative duties.
Just because a black officer earns over $200,000 does not mean that he or she committed payroll fraud.
Mm-hmm.
It does not automatically mean corruption. It does not automatically mean theft. It does not automatically mean wrongdoing. Sometimes it means decades of service, overtime serving the public, security details where they work hard, promotions they have earned, leadership responsibilities they have undertaken, specialized assignments like to the FBI, experience, and hard work.
Guess who was assigned to the FBI task force?
Cockerham.
Chad Cockerham.
Right. Now, if there's actual evidence of misconduct, investigate it. If laws were broken, address it. But income alone should not place one under suspicion, and it is not evidence of criminality. And to blast the faces of these officers on television and to put that in NOLA.com and to accuse them of being involved with a payroll investigation is reckless. It's negligent. It's wrong. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. They're doing the same things, making the same money that these white officers are making, but you're not accusing them of payroll fraud at all. You are not blasting them all over the television. You are not talking about them on
arresting
NOLA.com.
them.
You are not arresting them. You are not freezing their ability to work their details and feed their families. And by the way, serve the public and keep us safe.
Yep.
There seems to be a pattern of accusing black officers of wrongdoing just because they're trying to earn equal pay.
Yep. And one of my guys, look, I make no quarrels about this whatsoever, and I don't have no problem telling anybody. One of the safest areas in the city to me is Lakeview, in the lakefront area. I stay in Lakeview, and we have that crime after, the crime folks, the police officers that patrol after.
To details, yeah, they
do details.
patrol the neighborhoods.
And all of the folks in Lakeview are really happy with the gentleman, Renee, who is in charge of that detail. They're trying to get him.
Because historically in America, successful black professionals have often been viewed with suspicion in ways that other groups are not. A wealthy black businesswoman, a wealthy black businessman, a successful black politician, a high-ranking black police commander, a black executive earning substantial money. Too often the assumption becomes, how did he get that?
Mm-hmm.
He must be doing something wrong.
Yep.
Instead of saying he earned that, he worked hard for that.
Yep.
That's a double standard, y'all. And that double standard is real. And many African Americans recognize it immediately because we have lived it. I know I have lived it in the legal profession.
Mm-hmm.
How did she become a multimillionaire?
Mm-hmm.
How did she come to live in English Turn? She's got to be doing something wrong. No, damn it, I work hard, real hard.
You know that person, Jasmine? You know that person? You don't know, damn it?
I work real hard for my money, okay?
It's right beside FU. And real close to FU really again.
Right.
So, the twins.
But you know, while some of y'all be asleep, I'm working.
Yep.
Okay, and you know it.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, accountability matters, and making false accusations against people needs to stop. Just because somebody is successful, just because they have worked hard to get where they're at, just because they've gotten the education they need or the certifications they need, or just maybe they work long hours to make ends meet, work 2 and 3 jobs to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't know what people are doing to earn their money. Stop counting their pockets, but stop counting their pockets too in a racial fashion, saying that just because they're black, they could not have earned that. They had to have stolen that.
If y'all really want to check something, check your mom. No.
Who they should check, G?
Your mom. That's one word. Your mom. If you really want to check somebody, check your mom. Because that don't make sense. Y'all checking grown-ass men and women that put their lives on the line every single day. Check your mom.
Assumptions based solely on income, status, and visibility are dangerous, particularly when they're rooted in racism.
And I think that we have gotten to a point where we are just listening to facts that they're making up, and we're believing it because of who they are. And I call them bobbleheads. The bobbleheads get to talking quick. Can't arrest nobody. Can't show you no crime cameras. Can't show you nothing else except what they think. And then want to put a camera on your car.
Let me tell you, they are destroying these people's reputations and their ability to get new jobs just by the allegation that they have committed payroll fraud and they have stolen something when they have not. This double standard has to stop.
So I would like to see some of these same folks, because there are more. These were just
a few,
several. Just a couple of them.
Blow the whistle on it. Send us more names.
Yeah.
Blow the whistle. Send us more names. We will read them.
And we're going to check them all.
And we will say how much they made. We may even do a FOIA request to NOPD to get all the income information. Because since they want to go down this rabbit hole of accusing every black person who's making money over there to feed their families of fraud, maybe we need to get all the documentation and have our own forensic accountant audit it, a real forensic accountant, not the chemistry teacher, audit it and tell us who's really committing payroll fraud, if there is any, over at NOPD.
Because one of my questions was, if you're checking all of these records and you're making sure that all these timesheets are in order, and you're telling me that this person can't work that many hours because that's impossible for them to work that many hours. My question is, how many hours are you working at UNO to get all these numbers? Or
are you working at UNO and supposed to be at UNO and doing this on their computer?
Yeah, right.
Are you doing this on their time?
Right.
Does UNO know that you're using their computers and their resources and their time to investigate NOPD officers?
Well, now, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, is it?
Did you go over to WWL and give an interview while you were supposed to be working at UNO?
Were you on with Newell when you were supposed to be in class?
Maybe we'll have to get those records too.
Yeah. Ain't that fun? Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
But this is the question for me. Overtime in a police department does not simply appear out of thin air. Typically, overtime is requested, approved, supervised, processed through payroll systems, and reviewed through multiple layers of commands and administration. In most law enforcement agencies, overtime involves some combination of immediate supervisors, commanding officers, fiscal, payroll, and personnel, staffing coordinators, and executive leadership oversight. So the question for me is, if the overtime is excessive, improper, or inconsistent with policy, who authorized it?
How come leadership is not saying?
Who reviewed it?
Right.
Who approved it? Who monitored it? And who benefited from it institutionally?
So now, these questions that are coming
because
up.
Because that person committed fraud too.
Right. So now that these questions have come up, I'm seeing the talking heads try to protect that person that is of stature that may have some type of rank. Oh, they gave them their biometric numbers or that stuff to be. Who wants to be able to go in the machine and change the numbers? Is that the new excuse now? Is that the new excuse? Somebody had to give it. They had to say it was okay to do.
Someone in leadership approved it, supervised it, processed it through payroll systems, and reviewed it through multiple layers of command. So why is that person's face not on the news? Because if the hours were fraudulent and you approved it, maybe you're a part of the scheme.
You might be getting a cut.
You might be getting a cut. Or the system is flawed.
Well, we already know that because Granny done already went on the air and told everybody she's got to come up with a new system.
But if your system is flawed and you've got to come up with a new system, then why are you trying to hold officers accountable for your systemic failure as a supervisor with respect to your policy? If the policy's flawed, Granny, that falls on your feet. If the system is flawed, Granny, that falls on your feet. So why are you holding these officers who are lower ranked than you responsible for something you are in charge of?
Well, now, how does that sound? And those ones that are having conversations on other radio stations that were in law enforcement that had to leave law enforcement because of some other reason other than retirement are also jumping on that bandwagon to talk with the chemistry teacher.
Before focusing solely on the officers who are receiving overtime without examining the supervisors and the administrative structure that also creates an appearance of selective enforcement. How are you going to hold the officer responsible and not hold the supervisor responsible? How are you going to hold the supervisor responsible and not hold the administrator responsible? So that gets directly to what the BOP letter is really raising.
And for all of you that don't know, BOP stands for the Black Organization of Police.
Right. So let's be clear. BOP is getting at this, whether certain individuals are being singled out while broader systemic issues are ignored on the basis of race alone.
I got a problem. My problem is not BOP, but what about the other orders of police that these officers pay into? They don't just join these organizations just to join them. They pay dues to these other police organizations, and I'm wondering, why are they not standing up for that, or those police officers now? PANO, FOP, Fraternal Order of Police, and probably some others that I'm missing. But I'm wondering, where are they? They're quiet.
We're also ignoring this issue. People are having to work overtime because we have a police shortage.
Yep.
New Orleans has struggled with severe NOPD staffing shortages for years. And that often leads to mandatory overtime, extensive details, long shifts, overlapping assignments, and unusually high compensation for officers who are willing to work those hours. So you're also ignoring another systemic problem. You don't have enough officers to cover everything you have going on in this city.
Mm-hmm.
So these officers are having to work these details. You think they want to work 18 hours a day? You think they want to be out there all day and all night, every day of the Mardi Gras season? You don't think they want to spend time with their families? That's mandatory overtime.
And look, every police officer that I know, especially the ones that are on social media, especially during Mardi Gras season, you can see them on social media saying, only a couple more days. They tired. Summertime supposedly be the time when the murder rate or the shooting rate goes up. Guess what they got to do? Go from working their shifts to working 12-hour day shifts. How many different festivals do we have? Concerts, festivals. Everything's happening at the Superdome, Smoothie King Center, basketball games, football games.
Essence Fest.
We got so many things. They ain't even including the other ones that we haven't gone to. But I'm thinking to myself, do the math. We have a low amount of police officers to cover the city just for crime. But we have to not only put in that batch of stuff with crime, we got to talk about the festivals. We got to talk about the basketball, football games. These are the things that these police officers have to cover. And even if we added a whole platoon of state troopers, we still don't have enough.
We don't have enough. And that's why they're working so many long hours. And instead of us saying thank you, we're accusing them of fraud. So the real inquiry cannot stop at how much did a particular officer make. The inquiry must also include what policies were in place with regard to overtime. Who approved the overtime? Was the practice widespread? Were similar practices tolerated for others who are not Black? Were controls enforced equally? Did leadership know that this overtime was going on? Was the overtime mandatory? And did the city benefit operationally from those extra hours worked by these officers?
And I got one for you. If you're going to consider putting fraud charges against them, does the office that collects the detail or overtime that goes to these officers, do you all also put yourself as complicit? Because you all, the city of New Orleans and the police department, accept that money also.
Are you going to refund it?
There you go.
If it was fraudulently earned, are you refunding that money from the people who paid for this overtime?
Yep.
We're going to take a break right there. I think we've put enough on your mind.
Mm-hmm. We got more coming up, y'all. We'll go back to the phones in just a minute. Get your call in at 9422. Mama D, Chuck, everybody hold tight. Real issues, real talk, real solutions. Miss an episode of The Reality Check? You can catch every episode anytime. Search WBOK Media on your favorite podcast app to tap the bold commentary, real-time reactions, and powerful perspectives from the people and leaders shaping our city. Download, share, and rate it 5 stars because the real ones always stay informed.
The Historic New Orleans Collection presents a new exhibition open through June 7th, 2026, The Trail They Blazed. Built collaboratively with people who participated in the local civil rights movement, The Trail They Blazed presents stories of social and racial justice straight from the people who lived them. Listen to leaders tell their stories of resistance and persistence in their own voices, recorded by the Historic New Orleans Collection. Plan your visit to 520 Royal Street in the French Quarter and reserve your free tickets at hnoc.org today.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Looking for the right school for your child? Join the Greater New Orleans Collaborative of Charter Schools for the Charter School Admissions Fair, Tuesday, November 12th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Hines Charter School in Lakeview. Meet staff and leaders from over 25 top pre-K through 12 public charter schools across Orleans and Jefferson parishes. Discover programs, ask questions, and find the perfect fit for your family. It's free and open to the public. Register now at gnocollaborative.com or just walk in. The GNO CCS Charter School Admissions Fair, your gateway to great schools.
Hey, Pontchartrain Park. Thanks for listening to WBOK.
Here we go. The Reality Check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. Of course, the attorney extraordinaire, Suzette Bagnaris, in the building. And let's see, Mama D, what you say? Mama D? Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can now.
I just had one piece to add. I just had one piece to add to Attorney Bagnaris. When you were mentioning about Granny and what she knows, are they planning to investigate and indict her the way they did Susan Hudson?
Well, you know, if
they truly believe that there was some malfeasance or some inappropriate fraud and all of this thing that was going on. Because as you said, someone else had to approve all of that overtime, you know? So how far are we going with this with them, the way they tried to do with
they had $20 million
I think you're on to something, Mama D. If we're going to indict Susan Hudson for committing malfeasance in office because things were going on in her department allegedly that she didn't have a control over or that she was being negligent in handling, then clearly we're seeing the same thing in NOPD, and clearly what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and Granny should get indicted too. That's part of this selective.
That's all I had to add.
Yeah, that's part of this selective accountability. If you're going to accuse Susan of that, clearly we're seeing the same things happening over at NOPD. You should also accuse Granny of that.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm going to hang up and continue to listen so some other calls can go through.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you, guys.
All right, have
That's
a good
a
weekend.
great point, Mama D, and that's where we come to the whole issue that we have been talking about: selective discipline, selective accountability.
All right, Chuck, what you say?
Good evening, everyone down there in the Crescent City in the WBOK family.
What's going on up in the Monroe area?
Getting kind of quiet now, all these graduations, with high school and college graduation. Grambling had their graduation today up here. I know Southern had theirs down there in Baton Rouge, and we had high school graduations going on. It's that time. It's just nationwide. But my reason for calling, and that's a great what you add on what you all just talking about. We've up here with Monroe Police Department and Washita Parish Sheriff's Department and the Monroe City Marshals. I've seen them work detail at various events. And what I was just saying, graduations, sporting events, concerts. They have festivals and many other things. They go and work detail. I know people that work with like when we go during football season. My parents went to Grambling, and over at Grambling, you see those from Ruston Police Department, Grambling Police and Lincoln Parish Sheriff's Department, and you're going to see the Monroe City Marshals there working detail at Grambling. By the way, they're all down there in the field with the coaches as well. They work detail. Grambling's head football coach. They see them down there in the field, and they're around the stadium. And that's like I said, actually, man. I don't foresee the problem. What's going on, and then what you all are talking about, that is unfair. You two. And what you all are discussing, because you're seeing that something is wrong here, and that's some of you talking about the shortage of police now. A major city like New Orleans, you would have thought they had more police officers. I remember they had an ad that was on WBOK at one time. I remember they were playing Number One by Patrice Rushen during the time, trying to recruit police officers, and it looked like it hasn't gone well down there.
No, and look, I think that the caller made a great point. If former Sheriff Susan Hudson can be accused of malfeasance based on alleged failures in leadership, management, or supervision, then why isn't the same level of accountability being held towards NOPD Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick?
That's a great question, and that's something. Like my mother always says, something is wrong with this picture. Ms. Bagneris, because you're seeing all this going on. It makes you wonder about it, and it's kind of like what Arsenio Hall used to say on his nightly talk show, things that make you say,
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, look, we're just saying this city has struggled to recruit officers. They've struggled to retain officers. They've struggled with morale. They've struggled with manpower. And when departments are understaffed, overtime explodes, particularly in a city that hosts Mardi Gras, the biggest party on earth, parades, festivals, is dealing with, shootings, hurricanes, court appearances, patrols, details, investigations, French Quarter deployments, special events. This city needs coverage. It needs police protection. There's going to be overtime.
So I agree. One of the things, Chuck, that a lot of folks don't see here in New Orleans, the cameras when they go out to the new recruitment classes, we see 20 and 30 guys and women. What we don't see is that they may graduate 4 and 5, and because the rest of them going to drop off, either can't handle the written part of it, can't handle the physical part of it, or has some other issues like drugs when they take the P test, because they got to do that and they got to clarify them and look at their record.
And mental health issues.
So what we see is a class that's there when it first starts, and we see 30 and 40, and we think we're getting there. What we don't see is that they may graduate 4 and 5.
That sound like SEAL Team 6. They come in with a lot of people coming in, and all of a sudden a lot of them drop off. That's what it's sounding to me.
Many are called and few are chosen is what it's sounding like, But
exactly.
The bottom line is there's a difference between fraud and a city depending heavily on overtime to keep operations functioning. That difference matters. That distinction matters. Why are we acting shocked that certain officers earned high salaries in a department that has openly relied on overtime for years. And really, it's an incentive to take the dangerous job.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
And
that's a lot. You putting your life on the line like that. Yeah, and like you say, taking care of your families, because I look at the officers I see around here. They taking on things. I see them at various events and like you said, parades and even when we had the ice storm up here, Monroe City Marshals. I had to give a shout out to them. They really helped out in many ways. Going out and help my family. Well, because the power was out and they got us to.
They helped us out too. They came down here during Mardi Gras.
Yeah, helped because we couldn't get the vehicles out. And they helped us get it to one of the local recreation centers. And they're very helpful. We have a black city marshal here.
Right.
I'm gonna call his name out, Robert Cherry. He's done a great job. He's up for re-election, by the way.
But I mean, your marshals came down here, and guess who had to swear him in on the strength of being able to operate in this parish? Susan Hudson.
I guess I keep going back to this point, but this overtime situation did not happen overnight, right? So if the policies were being broken, who knew? Who approved it? Who signed off on it? Who was supposed to monitor compliance? Who was supposed to enforce the safeguards? And who failed to enforce the safeguards? They're not saying anything about accountability at the top. And accountability can not only travel downward. Real accountability also examines leadership structures.
Yes.
And let's not forget that we also have to look at it and say, hey, what was the incentive that was supposed to be given to these officers that I don't think that we held a policy? We did not hold our word to the policy. Because you were telling me that if we were having police officers to sign up and they stayed for a certain number of years, that there would be a $10,000 increase in their salary. And everybody's wondering what happened to my money. Because remember that we're getting ready to do a blue flu.
Oh, gosh. And that's why I say you would have thought a major city like that, things were good. And I hear the story. I learned a lot just from listening to WBOK. Like I said, I had to credit Ro Brown for my knowing about this station. You all really give a lot of information, things that I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, that's what we got to do. Thank you, Chuck.
All right. Y'all always great conversing with y'all. Y'all have a great weekend.
You too, man.
Be safe.
All right.
All right.
All right, Sad, what's going on?
Hello, good evening. For the life of me, and I'm going to touch this. Why would a woman who's a lawyer, why would a woman who held a position as the independent police monitor, who helped me, a black man, deal with a domestic violence situation with NOPD, who did not take my side of the domestic dispute until 12 days later, only because she got involved, and then she became a sheriff. Why would a sheriff, the way the news media put it out, who's a lawyer, who's a former independent police monitor, why would she be responsible for breaking people out of her jail or any jail?
Let me tell you, that whole thing makes no sense. Let's
Do
dissect
they think
it.
we're that dumb?
Let's dissect it. This woman was running for public office. Why would she sabotage herself, by having a jailbreak occur in the middle of her re-election campaign? That does not make sense to me. I'm not going to point the finger where I think the finger should go, but why would she sabotage her own campaign? Who had to gain from a sabotage of her campaign? It certainly wasn't her.
And lastly, and I'm going to hang up and listen, and lastly, y'all had a whole attorney call here to talk about how our current police chief was wrong and had to pay $250,000 to the officer that she violated. Why was that not investigated nor picked up by any other news station?
Well,
it seems like to me.
For you, we're finding out that there's another one too.
It seems like to me that the news anchors from these stations who are white men have a problem with black female leadership. And I believe it's incumbent upon all of us, including me as a black man, to hold and I don't know if I can say their names without getting in trouble or getting the statements because I ain't worrying about it. But nevertheless, the same way some of these people went after the former mayor, the former police chief, I mean, the former sheriff, criminal sheriff, why aren't you going after the current police chief like this?
Well, let me
Why
say
aren't
this.
you holding the mayor and these folk accountable like you did the former people who happen to be black?
Well, hold on one second. We're going to take a break right here. But then when we come back, I'm going to drop another bomb on you and tell you we found another lawsuit against Ann Kirkpatrick alleging the same thing coming out of Spokane, Washington. This is the second lawsuit coming out of Spokane. Yeah. We told you about one. We're going to tell you about another one.
All right, Sam. All right, we got to take the break. We got more coming up, y'all. Hold on.
From the campus of Xavier University.
Yeah.
WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Esther Dillard with BIN News Now. Federal authorities are planning a summer crackdown on youth crime in the nation's capital. U.S. Attorney Jean Pirro is expected to announce additional enforcement resources for the D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force. This after the D.C. Council declined to extend Mayor Bowser's emergency youth curfew zones. Last month, the mayor addressed that decision directly.
Chairman moved for postponement, and all of the council members agreed.
Meanwhile, food pantries are feeling the strain of rising prices. A Waterbury, Connecticut pantry says families coming through their doors have nearly tripled, driven by inflation and cuts to food stamp eligibility. And finally, the Cleveland Cavaliers are one win away from their first Eastern Conference Finals appearance in 6 years. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
And we're back. So previously, Gerod and I have told you about a lawsuit out of Spokane, Washington, involving an officer named Mering. And Mering had sued Kirkpatrick and the city of Spokane for wrongful termination and retaliation, very similar to the factual situation that occurred with Chad Cockerham. And he had won a multi-million-dollar lawsuit in which Kirkpatrick was held personally liable and had to pay. Well, we've done a little bit more digging, and we found a second lawsuit. This involved Detective Jeff Harvey, a Spokane police detective who sued Ann Kirkpatrick after being terminated and later reinstated. According to that lawsuit, he alleged wrongful termination, retaliation tied to his activities as vice president of the Spokane Police Guild, privacy violations, and defamation. The city denied wrongdoing. Kirkpatrick denied wrongdoing. But let me emphasize something very important. They ended up settling the case out of court. And part of that settlement allegedly included removal of the termination letter from Harvey's file, a notation that the matter ended without discipline, and a statement expressing deep regret for the harm caused to his reputation and family. Now, that's significant because reputational harm inside policing is not a small thing. In law enforcement, your reputation is often your career. And once an officer is labeled problematic, dishonest, difficult, or troubled, that stigma can follow them permanently. They're no longer eligible for promotions, assignments, credibility suffers, career stall, and even the cases they worked on suffers. So now I'm bringing to you a second lawsuit that the city of New Orleans should have known about if they had carefully vetted Kirkpatrick before they hired her. A second lawsuit that shows that firing officers and making false allegations against them and retaliating against them is a pattern with this woman. Right. It's something she's done everywhere she's been. So why can't our mayor and our city council and our city attorney see. This is her MO. They should not support it because just like Spokane, Washington, they're going to end up on the back end of judgments. They're going to have to pay because of this woman's character or lack thereof.
They know. There's more.
She's a repeat offender. I'm sure the more we keep digging, the more we're going to find that this kind of behavior has followed her every place she has been.
Yep. And Spokane is the poster child of what has been uncovered twice. And I don't know if everybody remembered this, but we also had Attorney Dunn from Spokane, Washington, who also handled the case in Spokane, Washington, when it went to court. He was the attorney for the defense. And he proved...
For the plaintiff,
I'm sorry. And he proved that it was true. And it cost the city of Spokane a lot of money. I think somewhere in the neighborhood of what, $350,000 one time and $750,000 the next.
Yeah, with the interest, it was clearly over $1 million settlement.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and he came on here and said, this woman cannot be trusted.
Nope.
You know, he was very clear about it, very adamant, did not pull any punches. He said it exactly the way it is. I don't know what more our mayor and our city council needs to hear about the history of this woman and what happens at the police departments that she works at before they let her go.
And so I would say this, that the Independent Police Chiefs or Chiefs of Police Association has proven twice now that there has been a flawed method of recommendations on who should be the police chief, and they should be paying attention to the record that we have so far and what has happened. All right, Ms. Jones?
Yes, good afternoon to everybody. Welcome back, Suzette.
Thank you. Happy to be back.
Yes, and kiss and spoil that baby, too.
Look, he's still here. I'm still on my 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. shift, enjoying it.
Yeah, mercy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay, the sign that petition is at 4072 Old Gentilly Road. I don't know if anybody's called. I just came from there, and they're doing it Wednesday, Friday. And they look like at 10, they say until 3, but they're still there now. It's at 4072 Old Gentilly Road.
Mm-hmm.
It's near that car wash right off Chef Highway.
Okay.
And
did you go?
Yes, I did go. Some people were pulling out their phones to show the thing with the register of voters as well as their IDs. And you get in the line and they see that, and then she check it and put her initial on. Then you go to the table and you sign a petition. Sign your name, print your name, and put your address, and they mark you off.
Okay.
Yes, it's good. So people should go. They really should go because it's
How
a
long
must.
was the line today?
The line was long, and it looked like when I passed it, it might have had at least 150 persons, but it moved. It seemed to have moved fast.
So let me give you some locations for Monday, if you missed it this week. On Monday, from 7 a.m. to 12 noon, they're going to be at 424 Gerod Street in Mandeville.
I got my own street.
Yeah.
Okay, Gerod Street, go ahead.
They're going to be at 1529 Newton Street in Algiers from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Monday.
Okay.
In Shreveport, they're going to be at 505 Travis Street in Shreveport from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. They're going to be in Baton Rouge at 2320 Drusilla Lane in Baton Rouge from 4:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Okay.
And they're going to be at the Howling Wolf, 907 St. Peter's Street in New Orleans from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Monday.
Right.
On Tuesday, they'll be at Chicken's Kitchen, 921 Peters Road in Harvey from 12 noon to 4 p.m. And they'll be at Sisters Hearts Thrift Store at 7519 West Judge Perez Drive in Araby from 4 to 6. On Wednesday, they'll be back at the Newton Street address in Algiers, and they'll also be at the American Postal Workers Union at 4072 Old Gentilly Road from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So
Right.
that just gives you Monday through Wednesday. Please go to an authorized site. Go to LouisianaDeservesBetter.com to pull up the authorized locations for the recall petition.
And if you're unable to stand as long, I would suggest bring one of those folding chairs and an umbrella because it was outdoor on the sidewalk. They must have had almost 200 persons earlier, but it would be a good idea if you're unable to stand very long.
Very good. Very good. So your process was all right then?
It was good. Didn't take but a minute.
Okay.
Didn't
Very
take
good.
but a minute. Once she checked you in, and you went to the table. They had about 3 or 4 ladies sitting to the table, and you went in, signed your name, printed, put your address, and she initialed it. And that was
Now
it.
let me say this to folks too, because I know that this is important in signing that signing the recall petition. But tomorrow is election day.
Right.
And we need everybody with the same force and ferocity to get up and go to the polls tomorrow and vote. Don't let nobody take away or tell you that, just because you can't vote for your representative that you can't vote. Go and vote anyway. Go vote and make sure that your vote counts. So
yes.
We want everybody to go to their polling location to go and vote tomorrow. The election is tomorrow. And don't forget, we need to get rid of some stuff. And I'd say including those amendments.
Yes. No to all of them.
Yep. As a
No
matter
to
of fact,
all
we
of them,
got
because I wonder if those people are members of those teachers are members of the teachers' retirement system. If not, it's totally unfair. If they don't know what to do, all they have to do is continue putting it, give it to the retired people.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the numbers in just a minute too. I mean, what to see what these stand for, because we got the Power Coalition, so we'll play that in just a minute.
Yes, but remember, people, bring a chair if you can't stand too long. You have those folding chairs that you, I forgot what you call them. Sometimes they have a little handle part that you could put a soft drink or something, a holder, and bring an umbrella if you're outdoors, and some water or something, a soft drink to have.
Well, and look, isn't it a law now that you can't go into the lines and give people water?
I don't know, but I would bring my own. I bring my own everywhere I go anyhow, and people should just do that. And if a person is a diabetic, I always suggest bring peppermint with you, no matter what. Maybe somebody else would need it. If you think you're going to get weak, bring something to snack on.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jones.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. Bye-bye. Yeah, you need to do that. Everybody needs to do that.
I saw somebody post online about a petition signing location in New Orleans East. I'd like to know more about that because it is not on the LouisianaDeservesBetter.com website. And we have confirmed with the Louisiana Secretary of State that only those two ladies with that LouisianaDeservesMore.com website have the right to train people to get the signatures.
Right.
So I just want to make sure that this is an authorized site because I do not see it on the LouisianaDeservesBetter.com website. So I need somebody from that LouisianaDeservesBetter.com group to let us know whether or not that is an official site.
That seems to be a little issue that I'm noticing. I think you know what just as well, that we have folks that are posting, go to this place to register, and it's on social media, got flyers and everything. It looks professional, but it's not authorized. And I'm seeing the two ladies get on these, take snapshots of these posters and put it back on social media saying, we don't know you. This is not one of ours. And we don't want those names not to count.
Right.
Got to pay attention, folks, to where they are saying go. Not because you got the closest one to you, or this one's here and that one's all the way across town. But if it is all the way across town and it is on better
.com.
website.com. Go to that one. Ain't gonna take you but a minute. All right, Mac.
Hey, Gerard, how you doing today?
Good, buddy. How you? I think I
All
heard
right,
you
look,
somewhere today.
Before I get into everything, when you talk to Wick, let him know what I told you today.
Okay.
All right. But anyway, first off, since y'all were talking about the recall petition and everything, I'm thinking that this may be some of Jeff Landry's people and Liz Morell's people putting out this bad information. They may be even paying people to put these things up there to dupe people so that those signatures wouldn't come. And because I don't put nothing past them.
You know, we heard about these other locations this week. And because of that, I specifically called the Louisiana Secretary of State to ask if there was more than one petition that had been authorized, were there more than one group that had been authorized, and I was told specifically, no, it's just those two ladies with LouisianaDeservesBetter.com. Now, they are allowed to train people to gather signatures under their umbrella, but nobody else has permission to do that. And we are told that they are posting their official sites on their website. So if you have not gone to a place listed on their website, your name may not count. So I need you to look at their website and go to one of the places that they are specifically telling you to go to. Otherwise, your signature may not count. And we need every signature to matter. We need every signature to count. This is so important. If you don't do anything else to help the political movement, to try to save our civil rights, go oust this governor and this attorney general.
Right. And so my question is now to try and find out where you can sign the one for the attorney general, because I haven't seen that one yet.
Well, those two ladies with LouisianaDeservesBetter.com are the two that got approved to do the petition against AG Liz Merrill. So I would think that they have both petitions at their locations. So please go to LouisianaDeservesBetter.com. I just read you the list of places from Monday to Wednesday on that website.
Right.
That's where I go for information.
You know, I went Wednesday because I called you guys Wednesday and was telling you about when I went over there on Old Gentilly Road, where the lady who just called a few minutes ago said that she went and everything. And I don't know if you remember, but when we were discussing that, I was telling you that they had the one under the bridge in front of Charbonnet's funeral home. And there was a question about whether or not that one was legitimate or not. So, you know, and now that I'm hearing that more of these are popping up, I'm thinking that this is a concerted effort by Jeff Landry and his cronies to, stymie getting enough signatures.
Yeah, I got a call about the one by underneath the bridge. As a matter of fact, that person that called me said, "Hey, look, I got a problem. The problem is I don't know if it was legitimate or not. So I wanted to make sure that my name counted, so I went to another location."
Right. Well, like I said, I'm gonna check that site out to see where I can sign the ones for Liz Murrow, because they didn't have one. All they were talking about was Jeff Landry Wednesday when I went and everything.
Yeah, I have to go back too, because I signed the one for Landry, but I haven't signed the one for Murrow yet. But I intend to go back on Newton Street to sign the one for Murrow.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go on the website and see, and if I can go back over there to Old Gentilly Road and sign the one for Murrow, I will. Or if there's somewhere else I need to go, I'm not gonna go to Monroe to sign for Murrow, but I will go anywhere in the Metro New Orleans area.
Mm-hmm.
But I probably would have gone to Timbuktu to sign Jeff Landry. But the main
But she's just as dangerous. She is just as dangerous.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that. But I mean, it's just something about Jeff Landry that I never could say. I remember when Gerod had him on a few times back in the day, and I used to get on there and try and ream him out and everything, because he never should have been governor. The guy was living above some drugs. You know, him and his partner that were on the sheriff's department, whatever department that was, whatever parish that was, one of the partners, remember, had the drugs under the house, and he claimed he didn't know nothing about it, you know, and everything. So he has his issues, but the main reason I called was OT was definitely right about, y'all call her Granny. I call her Iola from Mama's family. That's what I call her, because that's what she reminds me of. But that she, you know, they needed to do a lot more digging, and you know, they should have kept Michelle Woodfork and everything like that. Because not only did she have the Spokane thing, but remember when she came from Oakland, she left there under a cloud of controversy.
Yeah.
When she came from Oakland.
Yeah.
So, you know, and so I'm saying, well, man, you know, I said, well, maybe there wasn't nothing to it. And when she got here, you know, everybody, you know, she hit the ground running. Everybody seemed to think she was doing a good job. But now we're seeing that it wasn't as good a job as people made it out to be, and everything like that. So, but anyway, like I said, that's the main reason I called. But when you got to talking about the petition, you know, well, I'm down with getting rid of Landry Mural and anybody else. Probably that Secretary of State needs to go too.
One at a time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We get 'em.
So y'all have a good rest of y'all weekend, and congratulations on your grandchild.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
I'll
talk to you guys later.
All right, brother.
All right.
I saw that Mississippi's governor decided not to do his redistricting effort because he didn't want none of this.
He didn't want none of the same thing that they're getting here. So he's smart, and they're not so smart. But anyway, we got to take a break. We'll come back. Galloway, Ryan, everybody hold tight. More coming up in a minute.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. As BET's co-founder, Sheila Johnson has a ton of experience in media. But a lot's changed since she first got the black-focused entertainment cable network off the ground. Johnson spoke to Bloomberg about the state of media and what black audiences might be seeking out now.
I just think that the landscape and the racial landscape of what African Americans are watching is changing. And I just think that we have got such a broad perspective of people out there that want something different, especially this younger generation. So we need to reevaluate what are the goals of black media and what are the answers? What is it out there that we need to answer?
According to Nielsen, just over 50% of black viewers feel there isn't enough content on TV from people of their identity group. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Lowe's has the brands pros trust to get the job done. You can now shop new Catalyst fencing solutions and save big when you do. 10% off when you buy in bulk. Plus, save $180 on a DeWalt 12-inch dual bevel sliding compound miter saw. Now just $449. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
It's off the top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
City leaders in New Orleans find themselves at the center of a political circus conducted by Governor Jeff Landry, State Attorney General Liz Murrill, and the supermajority GOP state legislature. State leaders approved and passed a law now called Act 15, which abolished the criminal district court clerk office in New Orleans. The duties were transferred to the clerk of civil district court. The law created a merged or unified clerk office. And that's a big problem for Calvin Duncan, the recently elected clerk of criminal court, who is now out of a job. Entering the center ring of this political circus, The New Orleans City Council, at least a 5-member majority, all but Councilwoman Leslie Harris and Councilman Eugene Green, decided that Act 15, in fact, creates a new office, one that didn't exist and one for which there was no election. Can you believe that? Civil District Court Clerk Chelsea Napoleon has become collateral damage in this political circus warfare, and she could be tossed out of her job. To solve this apparent conundrum, the council passed a resolution to call a special election and appoint an interim clerk. Napoleon accused the council of violating the law, and some legal experts agree with Napoleon, arguing that Act 15 does not create a new office. It simply abolishes the office of Criminal District Court Clerk and transfers the duties and responsibilities of that office to the clerk of Civil District Court. Napoleon says emphatically she is perfectly capable of managing the functions of both civil and criminal court. She's filed suit to keep her job. And just when we thought things couldn't get more crazy and confusing, State Attorney General Liz Murrill has threatened to fire Mayor Helena Moreno and city council members for appointing an interim clerk and calling for a special election. Mayor Helena Moreno fired back, telling Murrill that she will not be intimidated and will not back down from a fight. You know, it seems to me that city leaders would be much better off letting cooler heads prevail, working together to come up with a compromise that would be a win-win for local government. And if you ask me, you're fighting each other and losing sight of the real enemies, those in Baton Rouge who created this mess in the first place. This is Norman Robinson, off the top.
Trying to grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another open enrollment update. Who do I have on the line today?
Hi, you're speaking with Vanessa Scott of BSG of Louisiana.
Can you tell us a little bit about what is open enrollment?
The open enrollment period is for Medicare members that want to change from one plan to another.
Why is open enrollment so important?
Because a lot of people missed out on the annual enrollment period, so they need to have a one-on-one review.
And if you have questions or concerns about your Medicare plans, what should you do?
You just pick up the phone, call 504-621-3687. We even come out to your house. Zero cost to them.
Get with BSG of Louisiana for your Medicare review.
For church groups, senior communities, or disability organizations, call 504-621-3687. We are an independent insurance agency providing information about Medicare-related insurance plans. We are not connected or endorsed by Medicare or the U.S. government.
City Park is where to go when you don't know where to go. Turn towards the city center and start walking. Before long, you'll end up where you belong, at the heart of the city, New Orleans City Park. Stroll along the reeded marsh, wander through the sculpture garden, rest and recharge beneath ancient oak trees. This is where your spirit goes to grow. It's in our nature to yearn for nature. NewOrleansCityPark.org, heart of the city.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. Welcome back. Welcome back. The attorney extraordinaire, yours truly, Gerard Stevens, Suzette Bagnaris in the building, and Ryan, you on line one. What you say, man?
Who's that? You talking to me?
Yes, your name Ryan.
Oh, yes, sir. My used-to-be neighbor. How y'all doing?
What's going on with you?
Good to hear your voices. It's good. It's good. Just, you know, with some of the things that are good. First of all, let me get this out of the way before I forget or say something stupid, but I'm not going to do that. There is going to be signatures taken for the petition against Liz Murrill on St. Bernard Avenue across from the Autocrat Club. I forget the cross street, but it should be apparent if you're rolling down St. Bernard across from the Autocrat Club, and that's tomorrow on Election Day. So while you out there, go ahead and stop on by there too.
That's across from the from Vocal Songs.
Ryan, why is that not posted on LouisianaDeservesBetter.com?
Well, I understand that, but listen, the women that are organizing it are in touch with the two ladies, and they have been. She has been vetted and trained, and we all have been trained. We all have been trained by them as well.
Okay.
She's not posting it because she's not able to continuously do it due to work and family and all that.
Okay.
So she's only got a couple of signings events, like 2 for Jeff Landry, and then the one I know about tomorrow for Miss Murrell or whatever her name is.
Okay.
So there are 2 for tomorrow. For
no, there's not. No, not tomorrow. Just the one for Liz Murrell.
Okay, and that's tomorrow.
It's a little more. It's a little smaller and a little more close knit and word of mouth driven. I think is why. And also, no, we're not using Mr. Vance's name because he doesn't want it posted like that because he's got to do business with everybody. So anyway, that's part of that. So it's across from the Autocrat Club.
Okay.
But you'll be able to see where it's at, though.
Ryan, so I'm getting in your business for a minute. You
That's
said
fine.
you're vetted?
I mean, I was trained by the ladies,
okay.
by the ladies that were trained by the ladies.
Cool.
Perfect.
So you can set up locations?
I don't know. I'd have to go through some paperwork, and also, I'm about to get busy at work again. So I had a couple weeks off after the festival season. I think I told you.
All right, I'm out your business now.
It's good, sir. It's good. I'm glad you asked. No, but I will be volunteering and pacing and checking. What I was doing today is just checking identifications so that it streamlined the line, basically.
Right.
So I checked the ID on the Secretary of State site, made sure that they were active. Once we confirmed that they were active, they could go to the ladies that would give them more details into the signatures and all that jazz.
Okay, cool. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. One other thing is that, like earlier today, it's kind of funny. Shout out to my boy A.A. Ron. I know you know the gentleman, but he saved my butt because earlier today I had some bad information about one of the signings because I had to pick up one of the organizers and drive her to this one that we were at today. But she thought we were going to Kenner, and then we thought we were going to somewhere else, and I gave a bad address to the front porch. But since I had already called, and I think they realized that it was a bad information, right? And it was, by no malfeasance, it's just a mistake.
Right.
But they wouldn't answer the call, so I had to call in brother Aaron, and he got in, of course, and corrected the thing. So I want to just, special appreciation to that because, Lord, that would have been a mess.
Yeah,
and then also drive the narrative that people were out there doing these things that aren't necessarily valid or whatnot. So anyway, love y'all.
Cool, man. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you,
All right.
brother. Have a good weekend.
See you.
All right, Ernest. Ernest?
Yes, I've just got a call from people who told me there's a lady yesterday at Prolific Barbershop on Bullitt signing up people, and I'm thinking she's not on the list. A bunch of guys was over there signing up.
Well, we just learned that apparently some people have been trained that are not on the website. So I guess the question is, how do we know who's been trained and who hasn't? I mean, that's the question. And we've been trying to get in touch with the organizers. Gerod has called a few times. We're told they're not giving out their number. They don't want to answer the phone directly. But how can you get the information as to where the sites are really approved if they don't answer the phone?
Right.
Yeah. So all right, that was one thing. I was listening to you guys earlier, and they called me and said, I told them about it. He said, man, we was at the barbershop. This lady was over there. She's acting kind of strange, but we signed up. A bunch of people signed up over there at the barbershop.
And the only problem I have with that is if they tell me that it was not authorized, then those folks' signatures may have to be thrown out.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Unfortunately, Mr. Ernest, we don't have that answer.
All right, then. I was just letting you know that.
We're going to keep trying to get the answer.
And what's the name of it? The
Right.
Prolific Barbershop?
Yeah, Prolific. Yeah.
And it's
Prolific.
on Bullitt?
On Bullitt.
Okay, we're going to try to get that answer for everybody by Monday. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Y'all be
Thank
blessed.
you.
All right.
Galloway.
What's going on, Brother Gerard?
What's going on with you?
How you doing, Miss Counselor?
I am doing well. I'm counting the minutes till I get to go see my baby.
I needed to.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
From now on, Galloway, when you ask her that, say, "How are you?"
I am doing well, thank you.
That's what you got to say.
Well, I work on that one now. I got to. I don't want to sound like I'm some cupcake now. I don't do that now.
That's all right,
It's always good to hear from you, Galloway. What you got?
What I got today is, listen, there's a flyer going around about the amendments. And I said, I got to call WBOK so they can play that commercial again about those amendments to sign no. But this flyer is blue and white, and it's telling you to vote yes on Amendment 3 and 4, and it has black people on it. So if you see this flyer about these amendments, I want folks to understand, read the details in the devil. It's vote no on this stuff. So if WBOK, Gerard, you can play that commercial or that thing that you played before to let folks know, because the flyer is more confusing than anything. But they use black people on the flyer to get you to vote for Amendment 3 and 4.
Okay.
So,
right.
yeah, so check that.
Yeah, we
check
got that
out,
from
man.
the Power Coalition. We have it. As a matter of fact, Jasmine got it already for us too. You got that from the Power Coalition? You have it already? I think that she has it. I sent it to the
Vote no on all amendments.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely vote no on all amendments. But that flyer, like I said, that is so disturbing. And the crazy thing about that flyer, I drove in today. You can find that flyer, and you can find other stuff from all the way from Lake Charles all the way into Baton Rouge. Now, once I've got past Baton Rouge, I didn't see any of those flyers and any of that stuff. So I guess they kind of maybe they scared to come to New Orleans and drop it off. But New Orleans is not the only parish in there. So if they can get that word out to confuse black people, who else are they confusing? So. But that's all I had to say today, man. I got to go to happy hour. It's Friday. But y'all have a good weekend. And tomorrow, get out and vote by any means necessary. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right. Thank you, Galloway. All right, Mr. Henry. Mr. Henry?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to speak on about the voting, the recall voting.
Mm-hmm.
I heard someone say that there's a legal place where you vote and it won't count. Who operate those places where you vote and you can't and it won't count? I mean, how did they get set up?
From what we understand, some of those places did it on their own, and they're not authorized to do it because there are only two ladies that are on those recall petitions, and they're from Baton Rouge. And the petitions that you may be signing were not authorized by them and didn't have the training that they have set up for them. Now, is that the case? If that's what they're saying and this is their recall, that's the only thing that I can go by and anybody else can go by. But some folks are just being overzealous and going out here and doing it on their own without any training whatsoever. So what we're telling people is to make sure that you're paying attention to the places that are authorized because we keep putting them on air. And
so why isn't someone going around to those places and tell them that they are illegal or finding out whether or not they're illegal? Because people don't know, everyone don't listen to WBOK, and when they do listen to it, they might not have this type of program going on, so they won't find out that they're voting at the wrong place. So why aren't someone going out there telling those people that they set up illegal or finding out if they're really illegal so that people won't waste their vote?
Well, I wish I could tell you that. I don't have the answers. All I can do is tell you what was told to me, and it was told to me by the organizers.
And all we can do is what we've been doing, which is to give you the actual sites that are approved so that you know for certain that you're going to a place where your vote will count, where your signature will count.
Yeah, but ma'am, we talking about minute to minute. You're telling people this information. What if they weren't on your line at the time that you were giving out this information? They won't know that they're going to a place, and the place that they are going to are not properly certified to take their vote.
The problem is that the only two people who can tell me who they trained or the two women from Louisiana Deserves Better, and they will not answer the phone when Gerod calls them.
Yeah. Well, I think you got a problem.
I think they got a problem. Because if they really
Yeah.
want us to help them, they need to help us to help them. It would behoove them to pick up a phone and call Gerod and let him know who's approved and who's not approved so that we can give out accurate information. I don't know why they're not answering the phone, but that's not helping their cause.
Yeah. Well, thank you for giving me this information. Yeah, know where you're voting at for your vote. Thank you.
Mr. Henry, did you sign?
No, I haven't signed yet. I mean,
yeah, I know, Mr. Henry.
I'm going to sign, but I'm glad I was listening at you this time because I would have probably voted at the first place that I saw.
Where
you was able to, you know, had I not heard this information.
Right.
But now I'm going to wait and see and know where I'm voting at, that it's the right place to vote.
Right. I don't blame you. So hopefully we can try to get some more information over the weekend so that we can be sure we're giving out accurate information about where to go. But we do know that you can sign for Liz Merrill tomorrow across the street from the Autocrat Club. That is an approved site.
That's on St. Bernard.
Okay, good. I'm like 5 or 10 minutes away from that, so
okay.
I'll probably cruise by there and vote. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling.
All right. So do we have, okay, so we did get the request for folks that want to know more about the amendments. We just happen to have this from the Power Coalition. Please pay attention. This goes along with being able to vote on tomorrow. This is on the ballot. Go ahead.
There may be work happening on the outside of the Capitol,
but there's even more work happening on the inside.
On May 16th, you're not just voting on candidates.
You're voting on 5 constitutional amendments that impact your everyday life.
Jobs, taxes, schools, even political power.
And once these changes pass, they're hard to undo.
Amendment 1 shifts control of state jobs to the legislature. This could mean fewer protections and more political hiring, less merit and more politics. Vote no.
Amendment 2 creates a separate school system for St. George. This could reduce shared funding and widen disparities. Less equity, more division. Vote no for Amendment 2.
Amendment 3 promises teacher pay raises, but cuts long-term education funds to do it. Short-term gain, long-term risk. You may remember this from last year when you voted no. Vote no again.
Amendment 4 lets parishes eliminate taxes on business inventory. That funding supports schools and emergency services. Less revenue, less resources. Vote no.
Amendment 5 raises the retirement ages for judges. That impacts access, turnover, and representation in our courts.
These amendments don't exist in a vacuum.
Voting rights and representation are already being challenged.
With changes like closed primaries,
Access to voting is already shifting.
this election is about more than voting.
It's about protecting your power.
If you don't understand what's on the ballot,
Someone else is making decisions for you. So be informed, make a plan, and bring someone with you.
the Power Coalition wants you to know.
Your vote is your power.
All right, there you have it. That comes from the Power Coalition. I think they break it down very good so that everybody can understand what those amendments mean. And what we heard is that all 5 of them is no.
That amendment regarding St. George,
That's one of the
that's
most
to vote for a
racist,
sundown town.
That's one of the racist amendments that I've ever heard.
And it is on the ballot, open in plain sight, that they want money for a sundown town.
And what they're trying to do is they want to shift the money that's in East Baton Rouge public schools to St. George.
A predominantly white school district.
Yes. They're going to shift that money to it. So,
yes, indeed.
All of my folks that got friends that's going to public schools up in East Baton Rouge, y'all need to be paying attention to that more than anybody else.
These folks done lost their mind.
They're going to get out, and I hope they're going to get out and vote in droves. I would love to see that the vote came back all negative toward any of those amendments, because we've done it once to Clandry. I wonder, can we do it again?
I tell you what, we If y'all had just voted for Sean Wilson, oh my God, we would not be dealing with this foolishness.
Nope.
But here we are,
And now
dealing
we're
with
here.
all of this foolishness.
All right, we're going to take another break, final break of the day. Get you ready for the weekend, y'all. Get your final calls in now at 504-582-9422. More coming up.
AURN News.
The Supreme Court has just handed abortion rights advocates a major win, for now that is. In a divided ruling, the court indefinitely blocked restrictions on mifepristone, the abortion pill, at the heart of America's fiercest new reproductive rights battle. Mifepristone is no longer just a pill, but the backbone of abortion access in post-Roe America. Medication abortion now accounts for 65% of all abortion in the U.S. 1/4 of abortions happen entirely through telehealth. That's roughly 300,000 people a year who don't go into the clinic. 2025 alone, 91,000 of those patients lived in states where abortion is already banned. The case was brought by Louisiana's Republican Attorney General, who argued that mailing abortion pills undermined her state's near-total abortion ban. A federal appeals court agreed and would have ended telehealth abortion access nationwide overnight. The Supreme Court put an end to that. Democrats say any restriction would gut abortion access even in states where it's protected. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Looking for a great deal on your next phone? Come see us at your locally owned AT&T store for the latest Samsung and iPhones. Visit us at 3616 South Carrollton Avenue. We have great offers on watches, tablets, accessories, and internet service. Whatever your connectivity needs are, our team is here to help you keep connected. Visit us today at AT&T, 3616 South Carrollton Avenue. Locally owned and proudly giving back to the community. The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation presents Louisiana Cajun Zydeco Festival. 2 days of nonstop dancing and rhythmic sounds of Southwest Louisiana, Saturday, March 30th and Sunday, March 31st at the George and Joyce Ween Jazz and Heritage Center. Don't miss musical performances by Big Nathan and the Zydeco Cha-Chas, Chubby Carrier and the Bayou Swamp Band, Donna Angel and the Zydeco Posse, and much more. Doors open at 2 p.m. and music begins at 3. This event is free and open to the public. For more information, visit CajunZydecoFest.com.
Life has a way of shifting priorities, changing needs, and pivoting plans. Home Bank is there for all of them. Their bankers partner with you for every step along the way, from understanding your needs to celebrating your success. Home Bank is invested in the vibrant spirit of our community and in you. So partner with them. Stop on by any banking center in the greater New Orleans area or visit home24bank.com to get started today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, a member of the FDIC.
Our power bill's up again.
Oh, feels like everything costs more these days.
I saw Mark Wright and John Young are running for the Public Service Commission. Could they help?
The PSC controls our electric bills. Definitely not.
Why not?
Well, Mark Wright wrote the law raising Louisiana's sales tax to the highest in America. Then Wright took thousands from utility companies he'd regulate. Even tried letting politicians use campaign cash on fancy perks. And the other guy, John Young, backed a $22 million property tax plan.
So both have a record of making folks pay more, and now Wright and Young want to take control of our power bill.
Unfortunately.
Sounds like Mark Wright and John Young are wrong for the PSC.
Very wrong.
Paid for by Fair Rates First, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FairRatesFirst.com.
When you talk, we listen. WBOK. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Final few minutes here before we get out and call it a Friday. We need to take a minute and tell Jasmine, thank you for your hard work today. You did wonderful.
Did a great job.
When you coming back? Can't hear you on that one. That ain't
Hear
it.
me?
Now I
Can you hear me now?
Turn it up.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What's the question? I'm sorry.
When are you coming back?
I'll be around.
She'll
When
be
y'all
around.
want me back?
Huh?
When do y'all
we
want me
want you to
back?
come back.
No, we
we
want you
enjoyed
back.
working with you.
Permanently.
Permanently?
Yeah, I got Mr. Scrooge working in here every day.
I'll talk to Wick and see what we can do.
Huh?
I'll talk to Wick and see what we can do.
Don't talk to him. I'm just like, we're going to get you back. Wick who? Who is Wick?
Hey, see, you messing with Wick, and Wick is going to come in here. You two going to have it out.
He going to be all right. He going to be all right. He'll be all right.
Well, you all have a fabulous weekend. Please remember to vote. If you get the opportunity to sign the recall petition at an authorized location, please do so. We've got to hold these people accountable because they're trying to turn back the hands of time on us.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to take a minute, too, to tell everybody it's not hard for you all to check to find out what authorized locations are up. There will probably be some changes next week or week after, whatever, because I know they're still trying to grow. But we got to keep down as much confusion as we possibly can. And I think that, all of us have the ability to do so. Well, what do you mean keep down the confusion, Gerard? I'm glad y'all asked. If you go to LouisianaDeservesBetter.com, if you find a location that is on there that tells you that, hey, we got people registering people at this time on this date and the location, try to go and see it.
Right. Go to there.
Just go ahead on and see it. Let's make sure that, whatever rhetoric that's happening right now, get over it. But we need more locations. We drive where we want to drive any other time of the day, any other time of the night, and we go where we want to go. You have the ability to go to a location, go to that location. Just go.
This is very important.
It's important.
I also want to say happy 117th anniversary to the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club. Zulu will be celebrating its anniversary with events all weekend. On Saturday, May 16th, there will be the anniversary softball classic at the Wesley Barrow Stadium, 6500 Press Drive. On Sunday, May 17th, Zulu will have its anniversary religious service at Greater Evergreen Baptist Church, followed by its anniversary parade, which begins at 1 o'clock p.m. I hope to see you out there if my Mimi duties do not prevent me from being out in the streets.
So you going? You playing?
No, I would like to go to the anniversary parade.
Oh, okay.
But I also may have Mimi duties, so I have to see.
I thought you might be out there, winding it up.
No.
Why you say it like that? No.
No, I will not be out there playing, but, I do go out there and support every year. This would be the first year in a long time I haven't been out there, but I may have to be with the baby. The baby's not old enough to really go party with me at the second line yet.
Okay. Don't take the baby out there yet. No. Retired Major Tracy Riley. I'm surprised we didn't hear from you today because Tracy Riley is also involved in helping out. I'm just going to say helping. It's not your issue, but we appreciate you for helping out with this recall effort too. So I'm glad to know that you're on live with us as well. So you got some assignments to do. Those assignments involve first getting up in the morning. If you have not voted, go vote. Because I want to make sure that we don't have to hear that story again, especially as important as it is right now. And that story is, we got low voter turnout. We want to make sure that we had at least 30% when we did it the first time. So please go vote. If you go to the polls, let me make sure I say this too. If you go to the polls and as you go up to get in the booth, and somebody tells you that you're not at that location or you're not registered to vote, please do not turn around and go home without voting. What you then do is whoever that worker is, you tell that worker at that desk that's running your name and looking for your license and all that other stuff that you want to meet and talk to a poll commissioner. Okay? That person is walking around making sure everything goes right and has on a placard to let you know that he or she is the commissioner of that site. If you tell them that this is you, I'm a registered voter, y'all have made a mistake or whatever, they then have to give you an affidavit for you to sign that says you are who you say you are. And you can go vote right there. Don't walk away. That was a song back in the day, but don't walk away. Get your stuff, go on in the little voting machine and go and push them buttons. But you have to let them know you are who you say you are. Sign that affidavit that says, I am who I am. And that poll commissioner has to allow you to go and vote. Don't walk away. That's it.
It's been great talking to y'all this week. We will see you next week.
We got some more stuff for next week, too. Because we got some important meetings happening this weekend. And some of those meetings, we're going to find out some more information.
That's right. And look, if you have an issue that you would like us to discuss on air, drop it in the chat next week, and we will consider doing a show on the issue that is important to you.
Yeah. All right, that's going to wrap things up for us. We're ready. We're ready to get up out of here. Y'all have a great weekend. Be safe, and make sure you join us on Monday. We'll be right back in the air chair starting at 4 p.m. Central. Y'all have a great weekend.